Hello, this is Johnny Cycles with CyclesGaming.com, bringing you another edition of Keeping Modern Janky. In this edition, we are testing out what you can see here, Boros Blasphemous Act. We have our flagstones, we have our Vindicator, we have an Ocelot Pride even, and the White Orchid Phantom can ramp us. Not sure exactly. This is the kind of opening hand we want to see. 2 Reckoners is not bad, I guess. Well, I don't understand. I'm not really sure what's going on with my Magic the Gathering. It seems like in the latest update patch, whatever they're doing, kind of, I don't know what it is. Things are different though. It's maybe more like Arena from what I've seen online. So yeah, I think we're gonna try to. There's a Ragavan. What's the chances they're gonna counter our White Orchid Phantom? Could just dash in the Ragavan. See what they do. But since we have 2 White Orchid Phantoms and we want to make a land drop, maybe this will bait out a counterspell next turn if they Impulse. Okay. I'm gonna say then we can always either run it back or do the Ragavan play next turn if we want. For a basic land card, so we'll go get a Plains and then we'll get an Elegant Parlor, I believe. For basic land, Plains. Get another Plains. Yes, we would like to do that. We'll get an Elegant Parlor this time. Flagstones. Well, I mean, that does let us just run things back. Now we go to combat. We got a lot of first strikers. Okay, so we're off to the races. First practice match of with this deck. You can kind of see what we're up to. We're looking to play a familiar early game strategy from Boros Energy. They're going to go for, they're doing some shenanigans of their own. We may just be dead. Probably F6. Untap, tap, untap, tap. Or not. Maybe they don't have it. So what are our shenanigans? Well, we are looking to flood the board with typical energy creatures. And hopefully our opponent's playing some energy creatures too. And then when we get their life total low enough, stick a Boros Reckoner and cast Blasphemous Act for 1 red mana. Our opponent's probably thinking, well, we win next turn, so it's fine. Impulse. Look at the top 4 cards of your library, put one of them into your hand, and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. Do we want to do that? And it's tempting. It is very tempting. And then we can try to rebuild after if we survive. So what do we want? There's our Blasphemous Act. So we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Put some to. All right, we'll take the Blasphemous Act because that's what we're here to do, folks. what we're here to do. Okay, yep. All right, so we're gonna have we need to get 8 creatures on the battlefield before we can Blasphemous Act. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we would need more than okay. So we're gonna need some manas. All right. Yep. Can they go off with this? It's like an interesting Lotus Field. Is it Storm deck? All right. No, they apparently cannot. Says hexproof and indestructible. I mean, do we even care about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Can our opponent beat us next turn? I don't know. I mean, we were pretty much going to kill him on swings at this point, which means we don't even need the Boros Reckoner Blasphemous Act combo. They're just going to be dead to whatever, to this board state. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, this is obviously our first practice match, and we're up against a non-creature combo deck. So it's either they win on this coming turn or we win. Right now, we're just presenting a straight-up energy strategy. I don't think they've seen anything else, and I don't really want to show them anything else before sideboards. Just watch the show as they dig for their answers. We were probably one turn short from being able to Blasphemous Act and kill them last turn. So we only had 4 mana, even though it looks like we have 6 now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we could have Boros Reckonered and had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 creatures out because of the Reckoner. And then that would not have been enough to Blasphemous Act that turn. Hopefully our opponent will do something that is scooping it up. Okay. They could not find what they needed to combo off, apparently. What can we do against them? Red and blue, huh? What is this? I don't understand what this circle is for. I think I'm going to bring in... So what we represented to them there was just a straight up energy deck, which is one of the aspects of this deck that we're trying to take advantage of. Is just a powerful early game of 1 and 2 drops, and then late game to finish them off with the Boros Reckoner Phyrexian Vindicator. Lightning Bolt didn't seem all that great, but they probably are playing some sort of creatures. Take out the 2 Cleansing Wildfires, a Vindicator, and a Reckoner maybe. And also, Blasphemous Act is not at its best. So maybe we bring in 1 more Cleansing Wildfire. We got to see some of the synergies of our deck. So we were able to use our creatures to ramp ourselves. Flooded the board with enough tokens to just kill them dead but we had the other combo in our hand. Try it. 2 Ragavans could be bad. I don't know if I've ever said that sentence. 2 Ragavans are basically never bad. Search of Salvation, we'll put that on top for now. Try it out. Just depending on what we draw, if they don't answer it, I don't know. Just you right now, I'd rather be seeing a variety of threats. So having 2 Ragavans, usually the first one dies, so maybe the second one sticks. Good. White Orchid Phantom is our we just drew is nice. We can Thrones of Turkir into White Orchid Phantom. Or we can dash in the Ragavan. I guess that's why we could bring in Thraben Charm right there. Or we could just try to ramp into this Vindicator. Maybe that's what we do. Into the Flood Maw. Return target creature and opponent controls to its owner's hand if the gift is promised. Okay, well that's probably a reason why we don't want to cast a Vindicator next turn. Instead, what we can do is Orchid and Ragavan, and then have the 4 mana. And they're playing green. I guess maybe they were missing some colors last game too. Well, they had the Lotus Field. I really want to just F6, but what does this do? All right. I can't F6 yet because we have a treasure token that we can use to cast Surge of Salvation if we want. Elegant Parlor. So we can do the dash plan again. Play the Elegant Parlor. I feel like their opponent's about to go off though. Ragavan. It's been a long time since I've played a Ragavan. Not just because I've taken a little bit of time off of MTGO, but also Pioneer, and then just playing decks that don't have it. It's easy to forget how powerful it is. Impulse. Don't think we want to Impulse right now. We could still play our Orchid. Should we just blow up this instead? Clicking. Why do I have to say yes? What are we looking for? A Blasphemous Act, probably? I mean, we're a long ways away from casting Blasphemous Act, but maybe our opponent will try to grape shot us as their win condition, and then the Surge of Salvation will be a blowout. All right, so I think they're set up now to go off, I believe. So now they can make a bunch of manas. Okay. So now they can go and do all of that again. Sort of. I mean, they can make a lot of mana, and then they can get a couple cards from the graveyard because the escape cost isn't just mana, it's also... Well, we'll see. I mean, this is the Twiddle Storm. That's what it used to be called. I don't know if that's still what it's called. Where you use the untap effects, make a ton of mana, and then win somehow. And I guess what we're hoping for right now is that our opponent's win condition is a burn spell to our face, and we'll respond with Surge of Salvation. And then ruin our opponent's fun. Although, really, we don't have a clock yet. Lots of digging. I mean, their storm, yeah, I mean, it should be a grape shot type effect, I imagine. And we have our opponent down to 12 with 6 cards of our own in our hand. The cheap threats, man, I can see why people like playing them so much. If this was a Dragon's deck, we'd be like 2 cards in hand with a dragon on the battlefield and our opponent at maybe 12. And then just to go off. Alright, making a lot of mana. Yeah, I really want this to... I want Boros Reckoner to work. I've tried it in the past. And already in a game like this, we see how... by the time we're set up to kill our opponent with Boros Reckoner Blasphemous Act, they were just dead on board. So I guess the idea is that we are battling against other creature-heavy decks that are going to clog up the board and prevent us from attacking. That's kind of what... I mean, it's a deck that plays no creatures and is a combo-oriented deck. All the creature count is on us, so getting to 8 creatures, of course they're either going to die or wipe the board, whereas against a normal creature deck, they would have had their own creatures to help add to the board. Yeah, going off. Pour up the pages. So we'll have to test it out against a more creature-oriented strategy. And then think about, okay, if we're going to have combo, I guess that's why that Magebane Lizard is in some people's sideboards to help fight against these kind of combo decks. There's that too. If a source you control would deal non-combat damage to an opponent or a permanent, and opponent controls, it deals that much damage plus 2. Wishing for something. I guess they're going to go get their grape shot, maybe. How can we stack our triggers correctly? When do we... the stack? All right. I hope I did it right. I'm sure our opponent is just cussing. I just thought, can they still target us? I don't understand. I thought did I do it wrong? I might have done it wrong. I guess they could still, I guess I did it wrong. We can have 6 at this point. Or I did not, and they can't target us at all. All right, where our opponent had their fun. And they still have cards in hand, so they can still do things. Like, they could always just run that right back if they can get enough of a storm count going. And they still have a storm count of 13. So yeah, I mean, we have hexproof to end a turn, but that was fun. That was almost worth it. Just even, we're not anywhere close to killing them. So, and they still have all their setup for next turn. They can go back and do it all again, draw a bunch of cards, dig for their answers. Try to run it back. And these storm decks are so painful to play against, though. They're so slow. Oh, good. Our neighbors having work done on last week. I think their HVAC replaced, and then the workers just blared this like hard rock music the entire time, and now they're back. Might have to switch rooms. To be fair, it's like I would be the only one to really hear their music, given where they were set up, but still, it's obnoxious. I don't want to hear anyone's music. All right, what's our opponent going to do now with this huge storm count? Boring. All right, keep drawing. They're down to 10 cards. I wonder if they're even aware of how close they are to running out of cards. 7 cards. Maybe they have an alternative win condition like Thassa's Oracle. That would keep drawing them cards, man. Thespian Stage. All right, down to 2 cards. It's got to be Thassa's Oracle, right? What if it? Yeah, they're gonna go get it probably from the sideboard. What an impressive victory! Where their first win condition was a grape shot, we nerfed it, and then they got another wish and go get Thassa's Oracle, and that's their second win condition, and that's gonna win them the game. I'm just waiting on it to happen. Yep. All right. Moving on. Can we do anything to be faster than we are? Guess we can bring in. This is where Rest in Peace is so nice. Bring in the Thraben Charms. I don't think we're going to get the Blasphemous Act victory here. So let's take out the and that's sad, but we'll take out the Blasphemous Acts. We can do a Cleansing Wildfire back in. You never know. Sanctifier on Vec, it may do something. Watch us just regret our. I think that's flying too. Phyrexian Vindicator. The flyer. All right, so we're going to just kind of go take out our package and just try to be a little bit faster. I don't know if we can be fast enough, to be honest. We do have ways of destroying lands. It's just not going to be... Oh, man. All right, we will mulligan that. One lander. And we will keep this. Yeah, I mean... What do we want? Put the Ragavan on the bottom. Make sure we hit our lands. Put a land to the bottom. They're going to 5, so they are a combo deck. All right, so then that we brought in Surge of Salvation. It did work. They still fall all the way through it. and drew their entire deck after they failed to kill us with Grape Shot. That's pretty unbelievable when you think about it, but good on our opponent, I guess. I was thinking that Magebane Lizard is in some, like I said, is in some energy sideboards for this type of matchup, I think. And I was I got distracted by my gameplay, but trying to make the point that instead of Magebane Lizard, we're playing something like Surge of Salvation, so that if we go to Blasphemous Act and our opponent tries to kill our Boros Reckoner, man, another. And then we don't, we have some way to protect it and keep it alive and not get blown out. But instead of instead of that card to help punish our opponent, we're playing Surge of Salvation, which almost got us the game. You know, in the moment, it felt like, wow, that was we nerfed their entire game plan, and we got to another Into the Flood Maul. We were really good at getting those. The Raven Charm I'll put on top, even though we could use lands and other things. Right now we're Ragavan drawn. But if our opponent decides they want to go in all in on some kind of like enchantment plan, we can then, like Artist Talent, for instance, we have an answer now. It's all one of their setup cards. Sigh, okay. So our opponent just willing to take their hits, assuming they're going to eventually get to that point in the game where they can just go off the way they did. What an impressive. Okay. I don't really remember what Cypher does, so we're just going to not do that at all. Hopefully that's going to slow them down considerably. But we're still in a position where we just are not drawing anything to help us. Like double Ragavan is not great. Surge of Salvation is nice because it gives us a way to keep our things alive and theoretically protect us from another Grape Shot, but just don't think we're going to be fast enough at this rate. And we need another energy, another Surge of Salvation. Whenever another creature you control enters, you gain 1 life and get 1 energy. Whenever you attack, you may pay 3 energy. When you do, put 2+1/+1 counters on, and a flying counter on target attacking creature. It becomes an angel. How much energy do we have? Where's my energy counter? I don't have an energy counter. Why is that? Have I just not been accepting? Okay, I'm very confused. Is this a May? I get it. What an idiot. I'm an idiot. All right. Oh, man. I just really wanted the energy opponent. No reason. Nothing to see here. Search your library for a land card, reveal it, and put it into your hand. Yeah, we'll do that. It's fine. Everything's fine. There's nothing to see over here. Oh man, that was terrible. I was wondering why I didn't have an energy counter, and the whole time it's because I cast this creature second and I've cast no creature. This is my first time ever playing with Guide of Souls. But the reason why I kept thinking I had energy is because every time you attack, it prompts you if you want to spend energy, which is what it's supposed to do. Now they're going to have all the manas in the world, and we have no way of killing them. Oh man, okay, well, I think our opponent's going to get us again with their combo. Redrawing a useless land. I mean, they're going to die at, they'll be at 6. These Surge of Salvations had been lightning bolts. Or if we just drawn some other creatures, like we hit another Surge, we had the triple Ragavan, which is just not a really good, another Sylvan's Grind. Okay, sure. I guess we should have held on to our offended deck. I'm going to say we should have held on to that land. We're really good at getting Sylvan Scryings out of our opponent's hand, or out of their deck. All right, opponent, what you got, homie? A whole bunch of stuff, probably. I mean, if we'd had one more creature, that Ragavan play would have given us enough energy with this other Ragavan to then have punched through enough damage, I think. But just have not been good at drawing creatures this game. Did get the Thraben Charm, we kept on top. We kept, and then we milled the other one. But yeah, the time inequity of playing Storm. Our turns are like under a minute, and theirs are so much longer. All right, well, they have their artist talent, and we do not have a Thraben Charm. Second Thraben Charm over a second Surge of Salvation would be good. I mean, I can't imagine our opponent can't cobble together a win with double Lotus Field at this point, and all we have is a Surge. So they may go for the Grave Shot win again. Fine. But we saw how last game they were just able to continue to play Magic after the Grave Shot failed to kill us and won with Thassa's Oracle. That might have been the most impressive Storm victory I've ever seen. The same turn rebuilding. Normally you fizzle them turn one or in one turn, and if you can't kill them, sometimes they'll rebuild on the next turn. But have the opponent just rebuild the exact same turn that they got hosed on. It's pretty impressive. Six cards in hand. Down to 5. What do they got? We gotta sit through the longest turns in Magic for them to probably do the same thing as last game. And a lightning bolt, and there's the wish. So a lightning, and if they let us untap, and we draw a lightning bolt, we got them. Yep. Nothing to see here, opponent. Yeah, that was just a dumb play to play the land after seeing the Sylvan Scrying. Could at least had a chance to set up our draw if we get untap. I'm not convinced we're going to. So what did they get with do we get to see what they get with Wish? Probably not. mean, they may just straight up be going for the Thassa's Oracle win again. And we had hexproof last game when they got it, so the Surge of Salvation doesn't do anything to stop that. Well, we got to win game 1, and then we had our fun with our protecting against Grape Shot with game 2, but they still just came back, and then looks like they're going to do it again. La-di-da-da-da. This is where you're like, okay, do I even care about this match anymore? Do I scoop out of just sheer desperation to move on to another game of Magic? That's kind of where I'm at right now. Then they're going to recast their entire... I think they're just going to end up recasting their entire graveyard and run it back. So yeah, Rest in Peace, I had Rest in Peace in my sideboard. Instead, I went Sanctifier on Vic. Now I'm totally regretting this Rest in Peace. But like, if we had Rest in Peace on the battlefield versus Sanctifier on Vic, we actually could do something. 1 hour, okay. No, 1 hour, 45 minutes, got it. So, I mean, we've already seen the blueprint of their victory, right? They're going to either Grape Shot us or, I mean, I almost scooped, but then they went ahead and leveled up this. So I think they're going to try the same thing. Grape Shot into Wish, into Thassa's Oracle. I assume they're playing another Wish, so we're just going to watch them do the same thing again, is what I think is about to happen. Because Wish gives them access to Thassa's Oracle, plus all the cards they're just drawing, and Underworld Breach gives them access to everything in their graveyard. So I just think it's another inevitable victory from our opponent, unless they make a mistake, which I can't imagine they're going to make a mistake. I think they probably already have the Grape Shot in hand, and then they just went and got the Thassa's Oracle, and so they'll Grape Shot first. And then maybe they can't get there. They have plenty, 1, 2, 3. And I don't even think this exiles it, does it? Well, yeah, the escape doesn't actually exile the Pour Over the Pages. I think they can still, they can just recast and recast. Let's see what they do now. So we will Surge of Salvation, number 1. This could be their mistake. They may now have, I mean, honestly, I imagine they have both Thassa's Oracle and Grape Shot still in their hand. But, I mean, we have hexproof against the future Grape Shots. So I think it's all just Thassa Oracle and our bust here. That's some cool tech. So then, assuming it's another Thassa's Oracle, and I think we can concede. I mean, they have they're going to get the Thassa's Oracle from their sideboard already with Wish, so All right, well, interesting game. We got some lucky running into some unlucky running. Look at that, another Sky, which is fun, but another Ragavan, our fourth Ragavan. Just couldn't see anything creature-wise that game. So anyway, thanks for watching. First test match in of the new deck. We'll see. Keep running it through some paces, find out if it's any good against more creature-based strategies. But I'll catch y'all in the next one.
This has been another edition of Keeping Modern Janky. This is Johnny Cycles of CyclesGaming.com. If you haven't already, check out my original Magic the Gathering content over at CyclesGaming.com. I write about my various commander decks. I post articles and video of my gameplay of my various modern janky brews, and I'm publishing my science fiction fantasy novel, The Podkind, serially. If you enjoy the content, check out my YouTube channel, Johnny Cycles, and click that subscribe button. Everybody counts. As always, thanks for watching. This is Johnny Cycles. I'll catch y'all on the next one.